Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy New Year to you, and Saturday for you, of course. It might actually be the New Year if you're watching this in another country, but we are soon to see the ball drop here in the US. So hopefully you're doing well. We're going to take a look at Solana, of course, and really just understand a little bit more about why the targets that we set yesterday are going to hit. And I just want to kind of reaffirm that to my community, but also more importantly, just kind of help you understand the reasons why I believe it'll continue upwards from here, and there's some positive stuff here nonetheless. So we're going to look at that and much more. If you're new to the channel, of course, just note, not a financial advisor. You want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Been trading for over 17 years. I just love teaching people how to trade. Got trading videos as well as an amazing community, and obviously some really awesome stuff here. We've got trade signals, of course, but more importantly, some amazing traders that are actually trading Solana based on our entry targets and profit targets from yesterday. So well done there. Fantastic job there, mechanical investor. And furthermore, too, of course, just keep in mind, if you are going to be using the world's best exchange, you want to be using Bitget, because honestly, I've tried pretty much every exchange under the sun, and this is the only one that I know that works phenomenally well, but also offers our community a $10,000 prize pool monthly. Be sure to check that out in your own time, and obviously if you need a VPN, if you're here in the United States or a restricted country, you do need have a virtual private network, and you essentially need 3 months free with a 12-month membership if you were to consider that. So yeah, nice benefits there as well. Recently partnered with Express. They're awesome. So again, Express and Bitget are the keys to a very successful trading experience. So with Solana, let's go ahead and jump right in. I mean, we can see that we're still descending on this trend, right? So by no means have we broken bullish and it's just going to explode. But we got to recognize that we are fairly well overextended to the downside. So take a look at this here. We came from, obviously up from a 1 all the way down to a 9. So we've had 9 straight continuous days to the downside up until yesterday and today. That being said, when you hit a 9 on TD sequential and that 9th candlestick is a doji candle, a super long with extremely large candle wicks, there's a strong probability it's going to turn direction. Because the doji candle tells you that the price is unwilling to go in that same direction it's been going for some time, and that there's a pullback likely. Furthermore, we have 9 days of continuation in the same direction, the more likely it is to come back up. And once more, if you keep in mind, you got to understand that the larger the time frames, the more significant the indicators become. Okay, so I get the question a lot, is an hour or the 4-hour time frame best for TD sequential? Well, in truth, the daily is probably the best one. But again, it doesn't give you that micro or that midterm type of understanding of where you're at for turnarounds. Just generally speaking, the overall sense here is that the price should continue higher at least for a little while. It may not explode or take off, but it will absolutely continue to probably retest 10.6 or 11.5, essentially these upper Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, so just keep in mind that is a distinct possibility. Now, taking a look at the RSI, we can see we're still under 30. You got to keep in mind sometimes that can work as a resistance level, just as 70 on the RSI can work as a support. So bear in mind that we're not out of the woods yet, but if we break above 30, we should be in pretty good shape. Furthermore as well, we're also losing momentum here on the MACD, kind of giving us potential convergence on the horizon. Okay, so all mostly positive stuff that we could see on the daily here. If we take a look at the moving averages, obviously we're going to be below all three, and you just got to keep in mind that a lot of times the 20-day SMA will align itself with current trends. So whether or not we break above this or break above the 20, both would be positive. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We're not there yet, very much true, which is exactly why I have tighter profit targets. Okay. Again, different strokes for different folks, but for me, scenarios like this just kind of are just begging to be utilized, if you will. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about TD sequential here on the 4-hour. Not really much to extract in that sense, based on the simple fact that we're just up to a 3 right now. We're only 12 hours into this continuation of the upside, because we had a nice period of consolidation here and then the leg up. Okay, so that being said, we're in one of those situations where the price is continuing higher, but it's not doing anything really at this point. Okay, so that's nothing really to note. What is to note, however, if I recall correctly, we are above 50 on the RSI. This is positives, kind of showing us that that should work as a support level. Coincidentally, you look at the price action here, this previous support level at $10 even is tentatively working as a support right now. Now I say tentative because obviously it takes time to understand if that's going to be a support or not. But if we look at smaller time frames, we can see here that it was a previous resistance, very strong resistance level here, and now the likelihood of it working as a support level is higher. Okay, so previous support turned resistance, previous resistance turned support. That is essentially how it works. So at this point, we can disseminate that, based on the hourly, we're above that key level support, or the previous resistance rather, working now as a support, and the likelihood of the price staying above that is higher. Is there a guarantee it's going to stay there? No, absolutely not. But the truth be told, we are in pretty decent shape. The only thing, again, we got kind of working against us is this descending trend, whereas the price action could come lower based on that sentiment. So we got to expect that, which is why you want to have ultimately multiple profit targets as well as multiple entry targets. Those are things that I like to focus on. We had a perfect little scenario where we got in right here and we got in right here, and the price is almost to our target. Okay, it did actually hit our target on the spot exchange, but we're really, really close on our leverage. And again, that'll happen. I think it's pretty much just inevitable at this point. Once more, though, keep in mind fundamental catalysts could occur where Solana could sell off further. Bitcoin could have a really bad day on Tuesday when the market opens. Those are things we got to kind of factor in. But for now, we're definitely looking pretty decent. Let's take a look at TD sequential though here, and just got to note the obvious. We have been roughly overextended in the recent past here. Okay, so we've seen 2 nines in TD sequential. Did have a decent period of consolidation, but just enough to get a reset. So again, the likelihood of the price just shooting up from here is fairly low. I expect the price to go sideways, maybe down, retest, and come back up again. But there's more probability of the price coming higher than lower from here, just based on everything we've seen so far. But you got to recognize too, on the hourly, we shouldn't experience a dramatic increase just based on the fact that we are already overextended, and we have been for 24 hours. Okay, those are things that all factor in. Last thing we want to look at is Ichimoku Cloud. This is kind of telling us that we are, you would have wanted to take some profit if you haven't already. Conversion line is above the baseline, telling us we have momentum, which is great. We're above the cloud as well, and you can see the cloud ultimately residing right there at $10 even, which is fantastic. But the lagging span is kind of getting close to the price action, so it's important to have taken some profits if you haven't already. All right, that's generally the concept. Do you have to close your position entirely? Not at all. Just keep in mind the price action will probably retrace a little bit before it comes back up based on it being overextended again in the last 9 to 24 hours. All right, that's generally what we're looking at. So again, all good stuff here. Really, I see nothing disadvantageous for Solana except that it is overextended on the shorter time frame, which implies a pullback would make sense. But I don't think it's going to be a dramatic pullback. It could very well even increase from here. We'll have potential for short squeeze just above the key level area that we're at right now, because right around 1025, I'm sure there's a lot of shorts having a stop loss at that point. And then, of course, they're going to hedge their shorts with longs, and the price shoots out from there. That's essentially what happens in most cases. Either way, that's where we're at here for Solana. Mostly positive. I see nothing that's really terrible, but I wouldn't expect it to hit our targets in the next couple of hours. It would make sense if it takes its time to get it back up there after further consolidation. All right, hopefully that made sense for you and was clear and concise. I do want to reiterate one last thing too. Again, we are actually creating a new website, and we'll have that up and running within the next month. So make sure you log in, you get registered before everything kind of switches over, because you can lock in your rate and effectively have that new rate moving forward. Okay, so keep in mind that is essentially where we're at there. The new website is going to be fantastic, a lot of extra features, but everyone that's currently a member right now, you're grandfathered in. Don't worry about it. Just so you know, you'll pay the same rate forever. All right, so that's pretty much all I got for you. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy New Year. Be safe and awesome this weekend. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.